All Black towns across America. Life was hard but full of promise. In 1877, a group of African Americans set out to found an all Black town in Kansas. The town was to be named Nicodemus. An ad soon appeared in a Kentucky paper calling for settlers. Hundreds of Black people took up the call and set off for the new town in hopes of a new and better life. It wasn't easy living on the Kansas plains. Townspeople fought hunger, snakes, and prairie fires. Yet the population of Nicodemus grew. It reached as many as 700 people by 1880. At least 60 Black communities were settled between 1865 and 1915. Oklahoma, a popular choice. Oklahoma led all other states with more than 20 all Black towns. These towns included Rinceville, Clearview, and Langston, which was founded around 1890. Boley, Oklahoma, was founded in 1905 and soon became one of the wealthiest Black towns in the country. Greenwood was founded in 1906. It was created by O.W. Gurgley, a rich Black man who bought 40 acres in Oklahoma, which he insisted was only to be sold to colored. Greenwood became a very well-off town and was soon known as the Black Wall Street. Tragically, it was destroyed in 1921 after it was attacked and burned by white mobs. Seeking safety from racism. Black towns outside of Oklahoma included Mound Bayou, Mississippi, which was founded in 1887. Mound Bayou was designed for the townspeople to have very little contact with whites. It had a post office, churches, banks, schools, and stores. Edenville, Florida was founded in 1887. It was where the famous Black writer Zora Neale Hurston grew up. Edenville had 2 schools and no jailhouse. Hurston later wrote, when Hurston wanted to collect Black folklore, she returned to her hometown as she could think of no better place to be in. As early as I could remember, it was the habit of the men folks, particularly to gather on the store porch of evenings and swap stories, she stated. Few all Black towns survive. Many less famous Black towns and communities survived into the Great Depression of the 1930s. During the Depression, millions of Americans lost their jobs. Countless businesses closed. Many Black families were forced to move away from their all Black towns in order to find work elsewhere. In the Washington, D.C. area, several communities still exist today. Their populations have shrunk quite a bit. However, there are still descendants of the original townspeople in many of them. The town of North Brentwood, Maryland, was the first Black town in the Washington area. It was established in the 1890s after Wallace A. Bartlett sold property to a local company. Bartlett was a white man who had commanded Black troops during the Civil War. The land he sold was set aside for Blacks. The new town's first people were former enslaved persons and Civil War veterans. Other Black towns and communities in Maryland included Ridgely, Rossville, Lincoln, Glenarden, and Chapel Hill. Ridgely was founded around 1870 by a Black farmer. It was once a booming town, but today little of it is left. However, the original church and schools still remain. Rossville was named after Augustus Ross, who was born an enslaved person in 1855. Ross was freed in 1864. He later went on to work with the Merrick Iron Furnace. 20 years later, he and 10 other freed Blacks bought land together and founded the town of Rossville. Lincoln was established in 1908 as a vacation community for successful Blacks who lived in the nation's capital. It never really took off. However, today there is hardly anything left. In most new Black towns, the first public building erected was a church. Most often, a school came next. While most of all Black towns have disappeared, many of these churches and schools still stand today. They serve as a lasting reminder of what once was.